the world was shocked by an unexpected and emotionally charged moment. Jungkook's tears that broke out in Taehyung's arms after the BTS reunion were not just an ordinary hug. Armies around the world fell silent, shocked, and wondered what was really going on behind the moment. What makes Jungkook, who is known to be tough on the world stage, unable to hold back tears in the arms of his own best friend? BTS's reunion has been long awaited. After each member went through individual activities and military assignments, this meeting became an emotional event that thrilled millions of fans' hearts. However, no one expected that the moment that was supposed to be full of joy actually turned out to be so emotional that it made Jungkook cry so hard. It was there that Taehyung, with a warm hug and teary eyes, tried to calm the magne who was in the midst of a turmoil of feelings that the public did not know for sure. The meeting itself took place behind closed doors. However, leaks from internal sources believed to be close to HYB's management, as well as video footage spread among fans, showed a horror-filled atmosphere. One of the clips shows Taehyung patting Jungkook on the back while whispering something inaudible, while Jungkook is seen sobbing in his arms. The moment immediately went viral, inviting speculation and incredible curiosity. Why is Jungkook crying so deeply? Is this related to the internal condition of BTS? Or is there something more personal and painful that has been hidden by the golden magne? A lot of speculation began to emerge. Some fans believe Jungkook's tears came from the relief of finally being able to reunite with the people who matter most in his life after going through difficult times. Military service, public pressure. The burden of being one of the main faces of BTS on the international stage, and the sense of loss during not being together could be the triggering factors for his emotional outbursts. However, a reliable source who did not want to be named gave a different account. According to him, Jungkook's crying was not solely because of happiness. There was a wound that had been tightly covered, which finally exploded when he saw Taehyung standing before him. Jungkook has been hiding a lot of things, not only about work, but also about the relationship with the members who were estranged due to the situation and time. Taehyung was one of the closest people to her in the past, but their relationship has rarely been seen in the past. The source said the alleged rift between Taehyung and Jungkook had been a topic of discussion for some time. The two have rarely been seen together at public events or on social media, whereas previously they were known as a very close and full of laughter duo. Many assume that solo projects, personal activities, and military service have eroded that closeness. However, their embrace at the reunion seemed to be proof that the bond was never really lost. Precisely, the moment indicates that perhaps all this time the two were just waiting for the right time to reopen the sheet that had been locked. Taehyung and Jungkook had a difficult time, but they hold each other in their hearts. And the moment of reunion was like opening all the flavors that had been hidden, the source continued. Interestingly, after that moment of crying happened, ARMY also realized something awkward but touching. Jungkook was seen wearing a bracelet given by Taehyung that he had previously taken off in the last few appearances. A small symbol that seems to signal that something has returned intact, a friendship that has healed from its wounds. Some fans even linked it to Jungkook's latest solo songs, whose lyrics are full of hidden meanings about loss, hope, and the desire to return to a place called home. Many now believe that the house is not just BTS, but Taehyung himself. HYB issued a brief statement saying the moment was a natural emotional expression of an artist finally reuniting with his musical family. But they did not give more details. It makes the public even more curious. In previous interviews, Jungkook has said that Taehyung is a very meaningful person in his life. He's not just a coworker. He was like a brother, like a friend, and sometimes like a mirror to myself, he said at that time. But in recent years, fans have felt a disturbing distance between the two. Did this emotional hug mark the beginning of a new chapter in their relationship? Interestingly, a few days after the incident, Taehyung posted a photo of the past of the two of them on Instagram with the short caption, "Everything is fine now." The post was greeted with tears by many fans. Even South Korean and international celebrities also gave empathetic comments. An expert in Korean cultural psychology interviewed by local media stated that crying in public, especially among men in Korea, reflects a very deep level of trust and pain. If someone like Jungkook cries in Taehyung's arms, it's not just about meeting, it's about healing. Fans did not stop exploring other hidden possibilities. Some mentioned that before the reunion, Jungkook had experienced quite heavy mental stress due to rumors in the media, sharp comments from netizens, and the absence of several members in his solo projects. There is speculation that the pressure is getting heavier as he realizes how much he misses the figure of Taehyung, whom he may not have been able to get close to for various reasons that cannot be made public. Now, the public can only guess what really happened. But one thing is certain: that hug, that cry, has delivered thousands of words that cannot be spoken verbally. He pointed out that BTS is not just a music group. They are a family, and like any family in general, there are wounds, there are separations, and there is healing. This reunion is probably the beginning of everything. The beginning of their new journey that is stronger, more honest, and more profound. And in that embrace, the world saw not just two stars reunited, but two hearts that finally returned to beat in the same rhythm. But behind all the uproar, crying, and hugs that went viral, now comes a shocking fact that shakes things up. The news about Jungkook crying loudly in Taehyung's arms after the BTS reunion turned out to be untrue. This fact was revealed after official clarification from HYBE labels and verification from several major South Korean and international media that traced the chronology of the events that had been highlighted by the public. This truth, of course, surprises many, especially ARMY, who has been swept up in emotion and hope for a moment that is considered a symbol of unity and reconciliation between two important figures in BTS. However, upon further investigation, it turned out that there was no official documentation or footage, neither photos nor videos, that clearly showed the moment Jungkook cried in Taehyung's arms at the reunion event. All the pieces of video and photos that had circulated turned out to be footage from old moments that were re-edited or taken from different angles to create an impression that did not correspond to reality. Even the social media account that first shared the narrative ended up deleting the upload after being criticized for spreading unverified information. In a further search, it became known that the account had also previously spread speculative narratives that sparked misunderstanding among fans. HYBE labels, as the agency that houses BTS, finally opened its voice. In their official statement, they confirmed that the moment of reunion really happened in a warm and happy atmosphere. However, there were no events of crying or emotional hugs as previously reported. The reunion was a brief internal meeting, conducted to maintain cohesiveness and discuss future plans, especially towards the end of the conscription period of some members in the near future. It is not true that extreme emotional moments occur as reported. We ask all parties to respect the privacy of our artists and not spread unfounded narratives, HYBE said in a statement released through their official website and several trusted media outlets. Several South Korean journalists who attended the closed-door reunion testified that the atmosphere created was more of a warm gathering full of smiles and jokes, not tears or emotional tension, as depicted in the viral news. They said that none of the dramatic moments, such as Taehyung's embrace and Jungkook's crying, could be factually confirmed. Not only that, Jungkook himself recently did a live stream through the weverse platform. In the broadcast, one of the fans mentioned the news of him crying in Taehyung's arms. With a puzzled expression, Jungkook replied, "Huh? I'm crying in the arms of Taehyung? Where's that news from? We were just talking, but thank you for your attention." This sentence is enough to confirm that the widespread story is just a product of the imagination, assumptions, and perhaps expectations of fans who are too late in romanticizing BTS members' relationships. Digital communication expert from Hanyang University, Professor Ji Eun-ha, stated that this kind of phenomenon is not new in the world of global fandom. When fans have high emotions and expectations for their idols, often unverified narratives will be easily accepted due to the emotional need to feel close to the idol. It's a form of excessive emotional bonding, and social media exacerbates it. A rumor can grow into a fact, he said. Unfortunately, the news that has gone viral has created high emotional expectations. even triggering fights between fans who have different views. There are those who defend too much the authenticity of the moment without proof. There are those who feel disappointed because they feel lied to by the unofficial media that disseminate it. Now, with the clarification and facts revealed, it is important for fans, especially the ARMY, to be wiser in receiving information. Not every touching story that goes viral on social media is the truth. In this case, we learned that BTS's emotions and longing for a vacuum due to conscription have been exploited by some elements to create false narratives for the sake of sensation and emotional involvement. Even so, this doesn't mean Taehyung and Jungkook's relationship isn't good. On the contrary, they maintain communication and solidarity like brothers. It's just that the narrative that is built as if there is a dramatic moment of crying in the engineered embrace has clearly deviated from reality. Die end conclusion. It is important to understand that love for idols should not blind logic. The warm relationship between the members of BTS will always be evident, not because of the viral narrative exaggeration, but because of their togetherness that is evident from year to year, through hard work, laughter, and also sadness that they pass together. Without the need to add to the dramatic story that is not true, let's continue to support BTS in a healthy, loving, yet rational way. Because in the end, what the members need is not an exaggerated myth, but real trust and support from fans who love them with an honest heart.